With its vast rolling hills and many fields of green, it's easy to understand why people refer to Ireland as the Emerald Isle. For this episode of the Luxury Travel Show, we've travelled to Northern Ireland to explore its rugged beauty, lush countryside and breathtaking coastline. We'll be delving into the region's history and visiting the locations used for the HBO TV series Game of Thrones, whose executives and location scouts chose this part of the world to base many of their famous scenes. 3 miles north of Larne is the small village or hamlet of Ballygally, whose population ranges between 500 and 1,000 depending on the time of year. The Ballygally beach is popular with locals and tourists, especially in the summer months. But this tiny hamlet, although small in size, is punching well above its weight in history. The Ballygally Castle, which overlooks the bay, is the only 17th century building still used as a residence in Northern Ireland. It's been converted into a hotel and is said to be one of the most haunted places in the Antrim region. After receiving a grant of land from the Earl of Antrim, James Shaw and his wife Lady Elizabeth Shaw built the castle in 1625. As well as a home, the castle and its grounds were used as a place of refuge for Protestants during the Civil War. The castle was handed down from father to son, and in 1799, William Shaw, the last squire of Ballygally, inherited it. Unfortunately, the Shaw family lost their fortune and the castle changed hands a number of times until Mr. Cyril Lord, a textile millionaire, bought it in the 1950s and refurbished the castle as a hotel. Today, the 54-room Ballygally Castle is a hotel full of character. The rooms are comfortably furnished and there's a choice of suites, all with their own interesting features, such as the garden wing with its unique shape from the castle's imposing architecture. But it's the spectacular views out across the sea that every guest is keen to enjoy. It's a view that people seem unable to live without, as the castle is believed to be home to a number of ghosts. The most famous, its original resident, Lady Shaw, who is said to enjoy wandering the hotel's corridors. The story goes that Lady Shaw delivered a baby girl when Lord Shaw wanted a boy. He allegedly snatched the baby from his wife and locked her in a room at the top of the castle. It's said Lady Shaw fell to her death from the window while trying to escape the search for her daughter. Other theories say she was thrown from the window by Lord Shaw or one of his henchmen. So proud of the reported ghost, the hotel owners have dedicated a room to her in one of the towers in the oldest part of the castle, where residents can pay a visit if they dare. It's not just ghosts of former residents past that keep disappearing in Ballygally. If you drive along the Causeway coastal route, which is regarded as one of the greatest tourist routes in the world, with awe-inspiring views out across Northern Ireland, you'll arrive at the Vanishing Lake, which is also believed to be haunted. The story goes that in days of old there was a man on his horse and cart and the river flooded. He couldn't find his way out and allegedly drowned and is said to still haunt the lake today. It's called the Vanishing Lake because it lies on a topographical feature called a chalk plug, which gets blocked occasionally by peat. When the plug clears, the lake drains underground and out of sight at an extremely rapid rate. But don't worry, Northern Ireland isn't disappearing anytime soon, and that's thanks in part to its inclusion in the globally successful HBO television series Game of Thrones. Every year, thousands of fans come to this part of the world to see for themselves what inspired television executives and location scouts to choose this region as the base for many of its most famous scenes. With views like this, it takes very little explanation. There's 11 poignant locations from the series, such as the Stormlands Cushenden Caves. The caves were formed over a period of 400 million years and are a product of extreme weather conditions. In Season 2, Cushenden is where Melisandre gives birth to the Shadow Baby after being brought ashore by Davos Seaworthy. There's also Winterfell, shot in Castle Ward in County Down. This is where King Robert Baratheon and his entourage are met by the Starks in Season 1, and where Bran Stark was pushed from the window. The King's Road, which is known as Dark Hedges in County Antrim, is a beautiful avenue. The trees were planted by the Stuart family in the 18th century. 200 years later, they remain a magnificent sight in Northern Ireland. This tree-lined avenue is the location from Season 2 of Game of Thrones, where Arya Stark makes her escape from King's Landing, disguised as a boy. Mulra Bay is the Iron Islands in Season 3, where Theon Greyjoy rides on the horse with his sister Yara. The harbour at Ballantoy is also the harbour of the Iron Islands.
Well, we understand that Ireland holds a special place in the heart of millions across the world. The concept is we're selling off little square foot plots of Ireland to help raise the funds to restore our native Irish woodland. We felt it was a great opportunity for them to claim back a piece of their heritage that they can actually pass down to their grandchildren and their children after that, because they'll be able to hold this within their family forever. We're the only people in the north coast of Ireland doing this project. There's no one else can claim to be doing this for conservation reasons. So these little square foot plots are able to happen because we hold a very, very unique law over here that no one else holds. But it's also a little fun where they can refer to themselves now officially as an Irish landowner or squireing, and translated into English as squire or squiress. So it's just a little bit of fun, but equally it's very much making a huge difference to Ireland forever. You know, it's not just a little novelty gift, they are making a huge difference and a huge contribution to the Irish landscape.
We have all this produce which is on our own doorstep and it's in abundance. Yes, the cost is slightly extra, but you do pay for the quality. It's really, some of the ingredients are unreal. For instance, our Glenarm doughs, which are from 2 miles down the road. Our salmon is from 2 miles down the road from the organic Glenarm salmon farm. We pride ourselves on food provenance, so we try as much to use local suppliers as we can, rather than bigger suppliers from abroad or anything like that, because at the end of the day, we're in Ireland and we're part of Taste of Ulster and Good Food Ireland, so why not use constantly just Irish products? There is Dalreda tours, do like a horse tour at the Dark Hedges, which is actually part of the scenery in Game of Thrones, but then we're going to tie in a medieval banquet with it as well, a Game of Thrones afternoon tea as well, which is based around, I mean, afternoon tea is supposed to be nice and fancy, so this is more rustic, where you get like big focaccia bread and stuff like that, and it's an individual afternoon tea that comes on a wooden board, which is really good.
The hugely successful HBO series has no doubt boosted tourism to this part of the world. But whether you're a fan or not of Game of Thrones, Northern Ireland, with its beautiful rugged countryside and centuries of history, is definitely a place worth visiting.